There's a growing understanding that going to university is not the only way to get a great start to your career. It might not even be the best way, with the growing number of apprenticeships in really terrific companies and organisations growing all the time, and a growing understanding of the real costs of going to university versus getting an apprenticeship. There is a groundswell now of understanding about the value of an apprenticeship route. However, there are still some misconceptions that we find employers have when looking at potential apprentices to join their organisation. The first of those is that people who are doing an apprenticeship are people who somehow can't go to university. They're not good enough, they're not smart enough, they're not dynamic enough, they're not independent enough, or something that means that they are in some way second class when compared to a university graduate. Now, an increasing number of young people, very capable, are choosing apprenticeships instead of university. There is no reason to assume that someone who is applying for your apprenticeship somehow couldn't go to university. The second misconception that a lot of employers have is that people who are going to university have an advantage over people who are coming straight from school or college, which is that somehow they've learned how to be good in a work environment. When you think about it, there is of course no reason why that's the case, why someone who's been going to lectures, studying in libraries, preparing academic assignments and participating in seminars, there's no reason why any of those skills are directly relevant to what they'll be doing in the workplace. In fact, we often find that employers tell us that often with graduate programs, they have to spend some time, as it were, helping the graduates understand that what they've been led to expect by a university isn't actually the case. Whereas someone who arrives as a school leaver often doesn't have that baggage with them as well. So they're often an easier person to deploy into the workplace than someone who's been to university. And the third misconception that a lot of employers have is that an 18-year-old who is coming to work for the first time will necessarily be immature. Therefore, it's probably better to look for a graduate who has had 3 more years of life experience. Well, the emerging neuroscience of adolescence would counter this. In fact, adolescence doesn't finish at 18 or even 21. It can go on until the mid-20s. That's when the brain development that starts at puberty begins to mature across all people. It varies hugely. So some people are as mature as they are ever going to be, age 16. Other people it takes until their mid-20s. The point is, you have to judge each person on their merits. You will find some 18-year-olds who will come into an organisation and display all the maturity that you would hope for of someone who's much older. You might find someone who is in their mid-20s who, for whatever reason, has a long way to go in that regard. We are finding increasingly that we're getting young people who come to us who have job offers from universities. In fact, we have people who drop out of university because they realise that what they're getting is not what they hoped and are looking for an apprenticeship as a better route.